Hi everyone, it's Joanne here at Apple Tree Studio with another tutorial. So I've just finished filming this wonderful tutorial which is all about the fun factor, and it's for my patrons. And we paint lots of subjects and sometimes they're quite complicated, sometimes they're a real learning curve, and sometimes they are just purely for fun, and that's exactly what this tutorial is about. A dragonfly, you can use any colour you like, it really has the fun factor. What I thought was it deserves maybe, well, I'd like to call it a warm-up, but it's not really a warm-up, it's just a little bit of fun with dragonflies. I thought I'd show you how to create nice shape and form on the watercolour paper by allowing colours to mix together and suggesting the shape of dragonflies. And then I thought what we'd do is we'd add a little bit of pen work to that. So I talk a little bit about the pens that I like to use, and I show you how you can just add a little bit more definition with the pen to your dragonflies. If you're enjoying these few tutorials, I know I've said it before, but please do subscribe. It really does mean a lot. I don't post all the time, so it means that when I do post, you're not going to miss any content from me whatsoever. You can find all the information you need about my Patreon channel, single purchase tutorials, everything on my website at artbyboon.co.uk. So, are you ready? Go grab your brushes, paints and your pens and let's paint some dragonflies together. So as you can see, my palette is messy because I've just finished filming the tutorial for the dragonfly, and I thought warm-ups would be lovely for this one. So I've got a piece of Fabriano. It's a 300 pound weight and it's a rough surface. You can use any paper you like, by the way, it doesn't really matter. I've got a jug of clean water, I've got kitchen roll, I've always got my spray bottle. Colours I'm using are, which are on my palette right now, which is the Rose Madder Lake, I've got the Cobalt Turquose, I've got the Cobalt Blue, and I've got the Cadmium Yellow Deep. I've got two brushes here, a 10 and an 8, but I'll probably stick to the 8. I think I need a new one, by the way. I'm very harsh on my brushes. If anyone wants to send me some brushes, any companies, decent ones, please. Yeah, I'll have to buy one, won't I? Okay, and I've got two pens here. I've got, it's a size 8 and it's a uni pin and it's definitely waterproof. That is important. I've also got my Confucius Feud as well. And if you're not familiar with that, then Google that pen. It's a great pen to work with. And it's got a lovely little bent nib like that. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? But it makes the most delicious marks. And it's got a little barrel inside that you fill with ink. Always use good quality ink in that one, by the way. You want to look after it. So let's have a play. Let's have a play. So let's think about just putting some colour down for now. So let's take a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the red. Make a purple colour. That'd be nice. There we go. And let's put a little body shape in. So I'd like the wings to kind of come up here like that. So I'm kind of imagining where the wings are going first, and then I'll put a little body shape in. So I'm just going to pop in, there's a little head. And, oh, and the body kind of will come out like that. So I can just push my brush into the paper to create that. It's got quite a long tail as well, haven't they? So we can just push our brush, oh, something like that maybe, into that shape. There we go. Maybe it might make it a little bit wider at that point. And then of course the wings are going to come off there, aren't they, as well? So shall we put those in while it's nice and wet? Let's do that. What colour shall we use? Oh, I'm definitely going to use some of the colours I've been using this morning. Let's take some turquoise. That's just a beautiful colour. And let's put in a wing shape. There you go. Just portion my brush into that paper, and that's done. Let's put a little bit of crimson into the next one with maybe a touch of that blue. Let's drop some into that as well. Oh, maybe a bit more turquoise. I'll connect it to the body, and of course the colours are going to run into the body itself, aren't they? I'm just going to pull that out a little bit as well, just extend it a little bit with some water. And I'm not being too careful because I'd like to go over that with a little bit of pen later on. A nice little tip, if you don't want to use the pen later, is you can just use a pencil to pull out maybe some little shapes My little legs. Are they called legs? They are now. There we go. That's a lovely shape, isn't it? I'm just going to add a bit more blue while I still can. There we go. Maybe a smidge of water onto that bit as well. Let's let that one dry. Let's do another one. It's just a lovely way to warm up, and I want to come back to that one perhaps. Or we'll see. Let's just have a play. Okay, let's choose a shape where we've got, similar to the composition I've used actually for the Patreon channel. So I've got the little eyes here, little nose, little antennae. Then we've got our body shape, kind of coming something like that. I'll put a line like that down, and then I know that I can just follow that shape with my brush. Let's take a lovely shape off here, look. Oh, there we go. One, make it a bit more round. Two. I'm not too bothered about necessarily creative perfection here. There we go, something like that. That's just quite nice. And I've got a little line. I'm looking for an eraser. I don't often have one, but there's one. Let's just get rid of that little line there. Let's do exactly the same, but this time let's choose different colours. So for instance, let's put the body in first. So this time I'm going to make it more, do you know what? I'm going to go more orange. That's the yellow and the red together. I'll put in two little blobs for the eye and the nose. I don't know whether they have noses, by the way. I've not a clue. There you go. I'll put the body in. And I've left two little highlights there, just if I can keep them, just to suggest a little highlight. Let's bring that orange down. And let's add a bit more colour to that orange now. So let's take, maybe a bit of yellow might be quite nice. Just a lighter yellow. And drop some into there as well. And, okay, maybe a bit of red. There we go. Pop that in like that. Right, exactly the same now. I'm going to wet the wing shapes. And you can see that I'm not particularly bothered about keeping within the edge, and I use that part of my brush an awful lot, the heel of the brush. Now, what's going to happen is this colour's going to run, isn't it? In fact, let's let it do it down here as well. Let's allow it to go somewhere. While that's doing that, I'm just going to take a mouthful of coffee. I've been talking all day. Okay. What colours shall we use? Now, we do want fresh colour, don't we? So let's go for some really nice red into the tips of those wings. There we go. And maybe a bit here, look, and a bit here. And it's a lovely way to practice wet into wet, isn't it? Just allowing those colours just to do their own thing. It's a wonderful, expressive way to paint. Let's take some ultramarine blue. Oh no, it's the cobalt blue, sorry. It's the cobalt blue. Let's put a bit of that blue into that shape as well. See what happens. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with doing this. Allowing the colours to flow. I'm on an angle here, so gravity's helping the washes to flow in the direction that I want them to. I'm going to add some water to this now, and I'm going to just soften it like that. Just nice and gentle. Maybe a few swirly kind of marks. There we go. And of course, I need to let that one dry as well, don't I? Should we just do one more? Let's just do one more. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to work into them a little bit. Let's do the purple again. That I quite liked, that dark purple that we used here for the body. And okay, we'll have it kind of coming maybe this way. So I'm going to bring the wings up here. So the head's going to be about here and the body here. Just making sure that I've got enough room on my paper. There's the body. And I can just push that in, can't I? Just push that in with my brush. There we go. Do you know what? I'm going to bring that head out like that again. There we go. Let's find it again. He's turning into a worm now, isn't he? We don't want a worm, we want a lovely dragonfly. Okay, let's just put some nice little bits like that for his tail. I'm going to add a bit of water as well, just soften away some areas. Maybe use my brush, my pencil by the way, just to put in some shapes while the wash is still wet. There you go, and antennae as well. Wings, let's put some wings in this one. Okay, ooh, shall we go for kind of greens and reds? Let's put some yellow shapes in there now. So we'll put a nice wing shape that kind of comes down, something like that. And we can connect that shape to the body. Let's have another one coming out, something like that. And again, just connect that shape. I can turn my picture around. I've got a bit of red in the body, so I'm going to echo that and put some reds into the wings. Ooh. You just want to use all the colours you've got, don't you? You really do. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put some turquoise little tips on there. Let's let that come back again. Again, I can just add a bit of water. I can just soften it. I can tap into it. I can break it up a little bit as well. That is what watercolour is about for me. Just enjoying that process and having some fun. Now, I know that looks a crazy mess at the moment. But don't worry, we're going to pull it all together when this is completely dry. These are nice and dry now, so it's time for the fun bit. As if that wasn't fun enough. I've got my 2 pens here, my 8 and my Confucius Food pen. And I'm going to just start with this one first. So just push that out of the way. It's a size 8 and it definitely is waterproof. Now, I'm not using a reference, I'm just kind of making this up, but you might want to grab a reference off one of the great sites that offer lots of free photographs, especially for artists. But yeah, I'm just kind of making up as I go along. So let's just come in here and maybe imagine that that's a little head. And I'll put that antennae back in with my pen. I'll make some kind of swirly marks, just scribbly marks really. Again, I'll just add a few more legs. I'm not sure how many legs. I forgot what it's called. It's not a butterfly, is it? It's a dragonfly, and I don't know how many legs they have, so you'll have to bear with me on that one. And I'll just come up and just imagine that I've got a bit of a wing here, and let's do the same here. Let's just put a nice, and notice my line is wibbly wobbly, squibbly, squabbly. There we go. It doesn't have to be so neat. I can draw some little lines in there as well, just to kind of give it a little bit of movement there. And let's attach this lovely wing here. Oh, I can go around some of those nice shapes as well. And just, yeah, just kind of fade it off at the top there. I don't need every single detail. And make it dark underneath. So I'm going to do a little bit more kind of what I technically term as scribbling. There we go, just into the body. Putting some nice kind of cylindrical marks there just to suggest that lovely tail as it comes down. There we go, a few more. And of course you could go into a lot of detail, couldn't you? You could really start to put lots more detail into that, especially into the wings. You could draw into the wing shapes, couldn't you? But for now, I think that's a nice little rendition of a sweet little dragonfly. Let's come to this one. Let's put this pen down. Oh, I can't look. I can just see more scribbling than I want to do. It's kind of addictive, the scribbling thing. If you can hear a dog barking, it isn't mine. Just so you know. Okay, that one's down. Let's have a look at this one, my Confucius Food. I'm not on a commission, by the way, from these guys, but it is such a beautiful pen. I absolutely love it. It's a little bit pricey, so you need to look after it as well. I've loaded it with ink, and let's have a look at the different line or quality of line we can create that differs from this lovely thin linear line. So here, okay, let's start with, okay, let's put in a shape like that which suggests the eyes. So you can see there's a lot more ink coming out of that barrel now, isn't there? It's a lot thicker. The line is so much thicker. I can have a thinner line as well by just catching it on its side there, look. So we'll put some little antennae shapes. And then here's the body. We'll kind of just bring that round, something like that, before I go into the wings. Let's attach that wing. Oh, look at that lovely line. It's just beautiful, isn't it? I think the difference is you just get one thin line here, and this, you can kind of vary it, can't you, with the amount of weight that you put onto your pen. There we go. Let's do it all. Let's go for it. And let's put this one in. So just a lovely, you know, wibbly wobbly, thick, thin. Oh, delicious little marks just to suggest the wing shapes. Again, just a few little kind of cylindrical marks as well, just to suggest the body. Let's bring this right out. Oh, there we go. Nice curly, swirly marks that suggest this beautiful wing shape. And we'll do another one here. We'll have it coming out. Something like that. I don't want any complaints from you guys about the size of the wings, or, you know, how many antennae or legs he's got, because I'm not really concerned too much about that. I'm just trying to create a little joyful piece, and the pen and wash is just a lovely way to do that, isn't it? Again, I can bring some nice little shapes down like this. I can just add some swirly marks, some little marks with the pen like that. Of course, I can go back in and add more darks. I can strengthen darks as well, so maybe make some of the lines a little bit thicker and maybe kind of break them a bit and break that shape. There we go, just some thicker lines and some thinner lines. Isn't that a lovely way to capture a dragonfly? Now, this pen is pretty much dry by now, I know that. This one isn't. It's going to take a while for that to dry. And I would like to come in with some more washes onto that as well. So just a little bit more colour into those wings. But for now, I have to leave it. I can still keep doing a little bit of scribbling, but it's probably best for me to let this completely dry. So I'll put that pen away. Should we do another one? Let's do this one. One more. Let's keep this so lovely and loose. Let's start by putting that lovely wing shape in. There it is, look. Just bring it round. Oh, attach it to that body. Scribble, wibble, wobble. There's no rules. Okay, there's another wing. Look, we'll just have it kind of peeping behind that one. It comes in. Oh, there we go. Onto that body. Here's the body. Oh, there's the little head and the eye. I'm going to just darken that eye a little bit as well. There we go. I can put a couple of little marks like that. That could be legs. I'm not sure. There we go, that's better shape, isn't it? Nice kind of cylindrical marks again, just being expressive with that pen. Maybe some cross-hatching underneath as well, just to darken the underneath of that body. And I'm going to attach those legs again. And as I'm waking my way down, I can come in and maybe create some nice shapes like that. Little pockets of colour. Scribbling underneath again now. I'm going to go back into the wings and just attach some of these lovely darks into that wing shape. I love scribbling with a pen. It's kind of scary because you know the marks are never going to come off, but it's also quite liberating as well. Just keep bobbing in and out from different sections. I think he's done. There we go. Right, so I'm going to let these dry. And I'm going to put my pen down, I promise. I'm going to let these dry, make sure the ink's dry, and just come in and put a few more little details just into the washes that I've already got down. So these are nice and dry now. Hopefully they are anyway. Let's put a bit more colour into them. Let's have a bit more fun and add a bit more colour. So I'd like some more turquoise in mine. So there's nothing stopping me doing that. And throw in a little bit more colour in. I might break the shape as well. There we go. Ooh. And there's nothing stopping me adding a little bit more red. There we go. Lots of water, just pushing that about, breaking that line a little bit as well. Don't be frightened of doing that. And I'm going to just take a little bit of that red down into the body. Maybe a few splatters. I love a good splatter. There we go. So a lovely little dragonfly. Let's hope this one is dry. You can see I've got a bit of a smudge here where I caught it with my hand. It does take a while, I'm afraid. Let's take that red again. Let's push that in. And put it in this side as well, look. Ooh, should I add another colour to that? Who knows? Go on then, we'll put some yellow into that and give it more of an orange feel. And then down with the cobalt blue, that's what we used, wasn't it? Put a bit of that in. I can just pull that out with my brush. Allow those colours to just flow off the paper, outside the line, break that line up. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to come in with that cobalt blue again. Some of that lovely yellow. And of course, the red. And again, I'm going to just tap into it. I'm going to pull the colour out. I'm going to break that line. And that looks much better, doesn't it? Let's give that a little tap of the brush as well, just to break up some colour. And finally, we've got this fella here. Now, I'm tempted to put quite a few details into this, to start going in with the pen and putting some little veins into the wings. I mean, you could spend ages playing around like that, but because it's just a quick demonstration, a quick line and wash demonstration, I'm just going to put more colour into that. So, decisions. It's not an easy one, is it? Let's go with some nice yellows. There we go, nice and strong. And I'll go for the red again. And maybe a touch of that turquoise would be quite nice, wouldn't it, at the top? Let's add some water to that and let it really, really run. If it's running too much, by the way, which is kind of out of control, just get a bit of paper, kitchen paper, and just lift a little bit away. I love how the wash is kind of mingling with the line I've created as well, just breaking it up a little bit. Let's put in a little bit of dark for the body now. So let's put a bit of the blues and the reds, just making another purple really. And I'll put that in. Oh, just dropping that into that body. And I'm going to just give that a tap as well. Maybe just a touch of red coming out. Oh. Whoa. Just giving that another little wet. I might just soften some of those marks away as well. Look, give them somewhere to go. And there you go. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it? You know, use the back of an old painting as well. That's a good idea. If you just want to play like this, grab an old painting that you're less than happy with and just have a lovely afternoon playing about with shapes. And especially the dragonfly shapes, they're a lovely one to play around with, aren't they? I'm going to carry on. I'm going to start to add some more to my little composition. But for now... before I say goodbye, I'm just going to do one more, just a very quick one, look. So you don't really always need the line and wash. You can just create that lovely shape, and just like that, really. Some little antennae, I'll just pull that down like that. Maybe some little antennae and some little legs. Using the end of my brush now rather than the pencil. You go. Just a cute little one. Just waiting for a few more details on him. But for now, yeah, I'm going to put the brush down. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Take care.